Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Alexander A. Manzoni, and we're going to do some American carnage. Coal, the future of American energy. Oh, shit. Coal country, West Virginia. 8/12/2092, 4:45 a.m. Coal, the future of American energy. Yes, and don't think that just because America did eventually run out of coal, that the coal business would simply dry out. No, that's why something needed to be done. It was called recoaling. Basically, it was an industrial process whereupon plant matter would be subject to similar conditions of heat and pressure that naturally formed the coal in the first place. But we have to be efficient. Republican levels of efficiency. So it was golden that the catalyst had been invented and stolen from the Chinese, who quickly learned that the toxic byproducts offset any advantage that they might have had by cooking up this crap instead of throwing up a couple of solar panels. Solar panels weren't big money makers for Eaglemen, because it harnessed free energy from the fucking sky. And Eagleman wasn't yet able to leverage the sky in the same way he leveraged his properties and manipulated the people who lived and worked ceaselessly upon them. It would seem like it would make more sense to take the coal directly from the factory treatment system and use that as energy. No, that was too efficient. Something had to be done. And so the fake job was created. The idea was to put America back into America by giving it to the people who mattered: white male coal miners in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and other very progressive places full of people with great new ideas for our country's future. No fucking sarcasm there, buddy boy. Yes, Eagleman had them square in his breast pockets. His asshole pocket. Oh, and he had him. And he had him convinced that he was going to revive the coal industry in the biggest way. Just because we're running out of coal, said Eagleman, doesn't mean it's going to affect the coal industry. I promise 200,000 new coal jobs by next week. Out of those 200,000 jobs, he created 200. He created 200, but he made it sound like 200 million. Did you see the faces of those American coal miners out there? They love me. What would they do without a guy like me, looking out for them while they're down in there, in their holes, digging straight down to China? I mean hell. Yes, I mean Chinese hell. Rube woke up at 4:45 a.m. hungover, mouth tasting of turned domestic ice beer and commercially redistributed whiskey in a jar. The alarm on his phone was vibrating along with a sweet electric jug band hoedown he downloaded from the ENN website. There were no lyrics that talked about trucks or how white women were better or about that whiskey and women, woo, boy, howdy, ho. Still though, to Rube, it was quite hopping. Time to get up. Time to get the fuck up, said Rube to the woman in his bed. The woman that, by a woman, I mean a resin cast vinyl representation thereof. It was one of those damn dolls. Rube liked the doll because he could let the air out and sneak her along with him on the job, recoaling and re-digging and re-exploding the mountain. Afterwards was a hard jobberini. Even without the loneliness, Shantae, that was the name of the doll, by the way, ameliorated that uncomfortable feeling. Not that Rube knew what the fuck ameliorate meant. It just wasn't right, though. It wasn't right that under current federal and state Republican law, a man could not marry an inanimate object. People used to be able to, or as Rube would have said, he used to could have been able to, but the recognizer put a stop to that. And although Van Scooney talked about putting a stop to the stub, he never followed through. What's more beautiful than a man's love for his own property, said Rube. This coming from a man who'd fucked the tailpipe of his truck a half dozen times when he was feeling frisky from a couple of hits of the meth mixed with bath salts. Fucking moron. This was it, though. This was who best encapsulated Eagleman's vision of America. Yes, it was this man, this gross, stale beer smelling, puke on his white beer having, racist at the drop of the hat and cowers when he sees a black family at the tax store shaking, foot fungus ridden, dangerously militant, gun collecting, pea-brained, recalling truck and doll fucker. He got up, tried to shit twice, fail, and took the kind of awful piss only a man with a doubly inflamed prostate could summon from the very depths of hell. Then Rube made some coffee to sip with his morning Percocet and fentanyl and Adderall pills and capsules. All paid for at the pharmacy with cashola. Because health insurance was for suckers. Can't miss a day without those pills, man. Otherwise, the whole house of cards would crumble into dust and catch fucking fire. Pretty much every lapse this man, a machine operator, ever made ended up killing somebody. Luckily, they were illegals, mostly immigrants, or mostly ignorants. So really, he wasn't killing somebodies because they were legally nobodies. Rube's nuclear excavator, extremely ironic, whilst digging and redigging and recoaling an innumerable innumerable of mountain guts, had taken the lives of 35 human beings. There were 6-inch tall decals across the port side, underneath the cockpit, that laid them all out in sequence to give you a good idea of how many people 35 is, as well as convey a sense of, do not get close to this machine when it is in motion. Too bad the laborers had to get close a lot of times. Too close. That's when Rube, old drunky McMeth pipes, in a hurry to get home for his next cocktail, both pharmaceutical as well as alcoholic. Not that he didn't drink and do drugs on the job, but he really tied them on when he got home, I tell you what. Would push this lever forward when it should have been back, and then squish. Either he'd back up over them, drop the bucket on them, collapse the building on top of them, knock their heads off, swinging around that arm like a boardwalk quarter-hungry arcade crane game. Whoopee! Yahoo! Rube loved it. He loved these accidents because he knew how to always beat the ensuing workplace drug tests. It was one of the few non-car, non-hunting, non-conspiracy theory-related thingies he knew in his red, back, perforated cap wearing brain box. And with plenty of room to spare, no less. If that dirty nigrant didn't want to die, said Rube, referring to a combination of Negro and igrant, then he shouldn't have been fucking around whilst I was fucking around on the phone. Now, is that the message you want to give back to his family in Michigan? Hey, they says they's from Michigan, but I know better. Yep, I know that him, his wife, his kids, his whole damn family, all criminals and losers, by the way, might as well fly a fucking black turban instead of the damn American flag. I know better, yeah, because I watched a thing on it the other day. The thing on the show he was watching the other day was a piece of shit. On Billiam O. Jonesy's show, Skinfo Wars. It combined two of Rube's favorite things, self-professed, self-righteous conservatives screaming their heads off with white women with next to nothing bending over in compromising positions. Oh, the Christian-esque conservatives weren't huge fans of these bits, but Rube was. After all, he was the very sort of man they made those things for. Without people like Rube salivating and ready to throw money at anything that even seemed like it could fall in line with its extremist, Republican, hillbilly, militia ideology. And there would be no point of their existence. And it's not like Rube even believed half the shit that was flying out of the screen at him, assaulting his brain and mind with preconceived notions fashioned by white man and old-fashioned ideas. They were ideas that should have gone by the wayside with the end of the Civil War, the end of motherfucking Jim Crow in the South. But no, instead, this breed of working class hero wanted to return to the old days, the old ways. It didn't matter if they lived north of the Mason-Dixon either. For some reason, a Confederate culture had not only spread through the U.S. over these past 300 years, but it thrived. It thrived where it oftentimes didn't make sense. Then again, with the ideas of slave-owning, cotton-sucking, mint julep sippers, so grounded in reality in the first place. What a load of shit! These miners had adopted the ideals of a class of individuals who would not only not give them the time of day, but would probably mistake them, poor white folks, for carpetbaggers, and would absolutely treat them accordingly. The thing was, though, that these genteel Southerners like Bo had a way of saying things that were contrary to the recipient's interest, but they said it so politely, so nicely that most crackers immediately agreed to them terms without question, because obviously, this man from 300 years ago who looks like Foghorn Leghorn fuck Colonel Sanders knows what's going on in modern society. And not only does he know what's going on, but his ideas are better than everyone else's. Why pay a man when you can beat him into submission, put him in chains under the protection of white man's law, and force him, his children, and all of his ensuing progeny to perform your every bidding until the end of days? No flawed fucking reasoning there, right, white people? I said, right.